that bio. It took like 4 fucking hours. Listen, I'm super excited to be here. There's a lot that I want to talk about, and I'm super excited about the Q&A, so please start firing away those questions. The thing that I decided that I wanted to start this morning's talk about is something that I've not talked about publicly on stage ever, that I can really recall, and that's perspective. I am super interested by what has actually allowed me to get to this stage this morning in the world's most famous arena at 10 o'clock in the morning and have you guys all here on a Saturday. And I often talk about the things that are obvious to me. It's obvious to me that I'm standing here on this stage first and foremost because I have the greatest parents in the world, and the way they parented me absolutely set me up for this. When I think about all the accolades I get and all the ego that comes along with it, I always laugh because I never take any credit. It's just very obvious to me that Sasha and Tamara Vaynerchuk just deserve the disproportionate amount of credit to why I'm here. And so I want to thank them, and that I understand of why I'm sitting here. Serendipity. The serendipity of being born in Belarus in the late 70s, having the opportunity to come to America through, a moment in time. And I stand here on this stage because I'm an immigrant. I stand here on this stage because I have an advantage over most people, which is I watched my parents climb. I grew up with that chip on my shoulder. Starting from little is an incredible advantage in life. And so I know I stand up here because of my parents. I know I stand up here because I'm an immigrant. But the thing that I've been spending more time thinking about than ever is I stand up here because I'm optimistic. I stand up here because of how I see the world. I stand up here because I take full blame for everything that happens, period, end of story. I take responsibility always. I stand up here because I look at everything as half glass full. I stand up here because in every situation, even though I'm right in the micro, I'm always willing to be the bigger man and eat shit. I promise you that every single person that stands up here over the course of this conference eats an enormous amount of shit for a living. And I need people to understand this. Yesterday was a super interesting day at VaynerMedia. I sat down with a bunch of people that were vice presidents, kind of in that upper middle class, that tier right before. And I spent 4 different meetings telling them that they either decide to be the bigger man and woman or they don't. It's very simple. Regardless if you're right or if you're wrong, you have an option, you have a choice, you have a mindset, you have a perspective. And this is super interesting times. A lot of things happening in the world. And I'm fascinated because people default into cynicism. People default into pessimism. If you read any social media, feed right now or the comments, it's stunning how many people decide to default into the negative